I heard the other day that another vice president actually said that we're in a battle for the soul of our nation. And for once, I agree with him. But not for the reason he thinks. We are in a battle. We're in a battle for the soul of America, but it's a battle between liberty and tyranny. As the president has said before, it's a battle between independence and government control. And ultimately, it's a battle between freedom and socialism. You know, under the guise of the Green New Deal and Medicare for all, the same Democrats that want to take away your freedom openly advocate a failed economic system that has robbed the liberty and impoverished millions of people around the world. But let's be clear. It was freedom, not socialism, that gave us the most prosperous economy in the history of the world. It was freedom, not socialism, that ended slavery, won 2 world wars, and stands today as a beacon of hope for all the world. It was freedom, not socialism, that's moving us beyond the prejudices of the past to create a more perfect union and extend the blessings of liberty to every American, regardless of race or creed or color. And it was freedom, not socialism, that gave us the highest quality of life, the cleanest environment, and improved the health and well-being of millions around the world. You know what Medicare for all really means is quality health care for none. And the only thing green about the so-called Green New Deal is how much green it's going to cost all of us if they ever sign it into law. So I say from my heart to all of you, freedom-loving Americans gathered here, the moment America becomes a socialist country is the moment America ceases to be America. And as President Trump said in his State of the Union address, so we must say with one voice, America will never be a socialist country.
Right on cue, here we have Mike Pence diving into a bizarre rant trying to blame socialism for everything. Pence claims that the difference between Democrats and Republicans is the difference between independence and government control, which is rich coming from a guy who has unilaterally decided that gays shouldn't have the right to marry, from a party predicated on outlawing a woman's right to make decisions for her own body and suppressing votes. But of course, he doesn't stop there. Pence goes off on a bizarre false equivalency rant touting all of the things that socialism did not get us. And there are so many holes in this logic. First, no one is claiming socialism won the world's wars. You can list a bunch of stuff that socialism didn't do. It doesn't make socialism bad, it just makes those things not have anything to do with socialism. Everyone loves small monkeys. Socialism didn't make those, but that's not a knock on socialism. Second, Pence is pretending that freedom and socialism are mutually exclusive. They're not. You can have both, just like dozens of countries do, including Finland, Sweden, Norway, Canada, France, Belgium, and most industrialized countries with better qualities of life than the US. And third, and most importantly, when Democrats propose policies like Medicare for all and the Green New Deal and the ultra-rich paying their fair share of taxes, they're not proposing the US turn into a full-blown socialist country. They're proposing that the US adopt popular socialist proposals. That's it. I don't hear Mike Pence fear-mongering using Social Security or Medicare. Those are socialist policies. People enjoy them, and shockingly, they didn't lead to the downfall of American society. By the way, asking the richest Americans to pay their fair share isn't socialist. We've had marginal tax rates as high as the 90th percentile in the 1950s, and they were implemented by Eisenhower, a Republican. I'm not saying we should be taxed at 90%, but I am saying that to pretend that it's unprecedented is acting in absolute bad faith. Same with the Green New Deal. This is a common sense proposal that enjoys massive support from the American public. It's proposing that we end our reliance on fossil fuels and switch to cleaner, cheaper, renewable energy. The right likes to pretend that it's socialism because they don't like to call it by its real name, artificially propping up fossil fuels because they fund Republican re-election campaigns. I mean, seriously, renewables employ hundreds of thousands more Americans than coal, and it's becoming less expensive than fossil fuels. And yet this administration has cut subsidies for renewables and continues to pump taxpayer money into fossil fuels. Someone on the right, please explain to me how that is capitalism, how that is the free market at work, because that doesn't strike me as democratic so much as it does kleptocratic. But of course, Pence outdoes himself, grandstanding about how freedom gave liberty to every American.
It was freedom, not socialism, that's moving us beyond the prejudices of the past to create a more perfect union and extend the blessings of liberty to every American, regardless of race or creed or color.
Which is ironic because Pence signed into law the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 2015 as governor of Indiana, which effectively made it okay for businesses to discriminate against LGBT Americans as long as they invoke their religious freedom. Or preaching about our clean environment.
And it was freedom, not socialism. It gave us the highest quality of life, the cleanest environment.
Which again is ironic considering this administration has weakened nearly every environmental protection put in place by the Obama administration and has constantly sought to appoint coal executives to top environmental positions in government. So Pence can use socialism as a straw man to mislead his own supporters and grandstand using bizarre false equivalencies and platitudes about freedom, but his arguments are about as strong as his analogies. The only thing this administration is working hard at is making sure that we can no longer trust those who represent us. And the moment that we lose complete faith in this government
is the moment America ceases to be America.